Hello and welcome to today's Clarity Flow. Clarity is associated with our ability to see and understand our situations and life experiences through that lens of clear seeing or right perception. So, we're going to work with this concept today in our practice through mindfulness. So, connecting the movement with the flow of the breath brings us into the moment, creating focus and concentration in the mind, which allows us to calm the movements, allowing for a more accurate perception of our life experiences. We'll also work with drishti, which is the gazing point of the eyes, and we'll work with that in a variety of poses today. So, we're going to begin standing at the front short side of the yoga mat in the Tadasana mountain pose. You're going to place your feet underneath of your hip points. You're going to allow your hands to come together in prayer at your heart center. Just releasing and relaxing the shoulders down the back so the sides of the neck are long. You're going to find a gazing point out in front of you so that your eyes can begin focusing on that gazing point. A steady but soft gaze of the eyes. Feeling the rhythm of the breath as you begin to deepen the flow of the breath at the back of your throat. Hearing the soft sound of your breath. On your next inhalation, we're going to sweep the arms out to the sides and all the way up by the ears. We'll go into that full body reach. And as you exhale, float your arms back up to the sides and down by the legs. And we'll do that again. So just breathing in, sweeping the arms down, open, and up. A full body stretch. And as you exhale, let the arms open back out to the sides. Inhale, circling your arms around, sweeping them long by the sides of your face. And as you exhale, let your arms open out to the sides, bringing them back down. Inhale, opening the arms once more as you reach the arms long by the sides of the face. At the top, we're going to just let the elbows bend, lightly connecting the hands to the forearms or to the elbows. I'm just going to do a little bit of side tilting from right to left. So you can stay facing the front short side of the mat. I'm just going to be facing you for a moment just so that you can see the movements. You're just tilting right to left, allowing your eyes to feel soft. Coming back through the center, reaching your fingertips up toward the sky. Exhale as your arms go open. You're going to bend your knees and flow your body forward over your legs. Inhale, we'll take halfway lift. So your hands can go to your blocks or to your shins as you lift the belly and reach out long through the crown of the head. As you're exhaling, we're going to bend the knees enough so that we can get the hands down, stepping the feet back into tabletop. So step the feet back and then lower the knees down to the floor. We're going to do some cat-cow here. So as you breathe in, let your belly begin to release down toward the mat, lifting up through the heart. And then as you exhale, press your hands down and take your tailbone under, arcing and rounding through your spine. Inhale, release through the belly, lift through your heart. It's just warming up the back with a little bit of flexion and extension in the spine. Exhale, press the hands and round through the spine. Inhale, release the belly. This time, as you're exhaling, move your spine more to neutral. Slide your big toes closer and kind of inch your knees away from one another. And then move the sitting bones toward your heels. So you're going to bring the gaze down toward the floor. Inhale as you walk your hands over to the right. So you're going to walk the arms off. Right hand's going to likely land off of the edge of the mat. Left hand may or may not be on the mat still. And you're going to sink your hips a bit to the left. Chin is slightly in. Gaze is down toward the floor. We're just opening up through that left side body. Take your last exhale here. Then as you're inhaling, walk your hands through the center. Walk them over to the left. Left hand goes off the mat. Right hand reaches, maybe half on, half off the mat, depending on the length of your arms. Send your hips just a bit to the right and feel the openness through the right side of your body. All right, last exhale here. Okay, and then as you're inhaling, you're going to bring your hands back through the center, and we're going to rise up with the hips coming back into the tabletop, walking the knees beneath the hips. So you can catch hold of your blocks, and we can bring them a bit over to the left. We're going to lean to the left in order to step that right foot through, coming into low lunge. It's helpful to have that blanket support under the knee. Bring the hands then to frame the front right foot. You're going to take your hips, you're going to let them melt down toward the floor in a low lunge position and let your gaze go forward. Then as you exhale, you're going to move your hips back, rocking onto your right heel as you bring the gaze down toward the floor. Inhale, let the right foot come down toward the mat. Let the hips melt. Bring the gaze forward. And then exhale as you move your hips back in space, rocking onto that right heel. Inhale, come forward, right foot plants. Now you can stay there gazing forward or engage the tailbone slightly down and maybe sweep the arms out to the side, stretching them momentarily by the ears. And then exhale, bring the hands down and move the hips back into half split, rock to the right heel. So we use the gazing point to help stabilize the balance in the body. Let's try that one more time. So inhale, plant the right foot down. Gaze is forward. Stay here or float your arms out and up, momentarily reaching up. And then exhale as your hands come down. One more half split. Send the hips back. Rock onto your right heel. Gaze is down. Inhale, come forward into that low lunge. Press into the left ball of the foot. Lift the left knee away from the floor and spin your left knee down to the mat. Right knee is bent over the right ankle. Inhale, cartwheel your left arm around, turning your chest to face the left side of the room as your right arm comes up, both arms parallel to the floor. Inhale, flipping your left palm up to face the sky. You're going to straighten your right knee as your left hand comes to your thigh and you take your body into a version of reverse warrior, opening through that right side body again. Stay here with the right knee or rebend the right knee coming into those warrior two legs. Take a deep breath in and a last breath out. Okay, inhale, warrior two. So shoulders come over hips, rebend the right knee if it's not already. Left arm's going to lift up and over as you frame your right foot, spin off your back heel. Lower your left knee down to the floor, hands to the inside of that right foot. Lean more to the left and step your right foot back, coming into tabletop position. Swaying your hips just a bit from side to side. You're going to let the weight come into the left knee as you reach the right leg back with the ball of the foot pressing into the floor. Gaze is going to be down at the yoga mat. Stay here or use that steadiness of the eyes and the engagement of the belly in toward the spine to maybe float the right leg away from the floor. Now you can stay here in this position, or you can start to allow more weight to come into the right hand. And the left hand might start to lift up, but we're going to reach it back. Often we reach that left arm forward. So today we reach the left arm back. So the crown of the head continues to reach forward while both the left arm and then the right leg reaching back. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, lower the knee and lower the hand, swaying out those hips once again from side to side. All right, we're going to take the blocks, walk them over to the right, shift more weight into the right knee as you step the left foot forward, and then frame the left foot with the hands on the block. So inhale, low lunge position. Let your hips go down. See if you can take the chin up a bit so you find a gazing point out in front of you. And then as you're exhaling, move your hips back, rocking onto that left heel. Inhale as you come forward, left foot coming down, finding the low lunge shape. The gaze is going forward. And then as you're exhaling, moving your hips back, rocking onto your left heel. Gaze goes down. Inhale, come forward into low lunge. Now finding your gazing point, staying here or sweeping those arms out and up. Fingertips stretching out, and then exhale as your hands come down, hips move back, gaze goes down. Half split pose. One more time that way. Inhale, let the left foot come down. Let the gaze begin to lift forward. Maybe sweep the arms out to the side, up by the ears. Exhale, hands come down and hips move back into that half split. Gaze is down. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, press the right ball of the foot into the mat. Lift the knee away from the floor. Spin the right heel down to the mat. Inhale as you cartwheel your right arm around, turning your body to face the right long side of the mat. Flipping up your left palm. Inhale. You can straighten the left knee as your right hand comes to your right thigh and you arc your body into a version of reverse warrior. Stay here or bend the left knee back out into that warrior two shape with the legs. Inhale here. Deep exhale. Inhale, come back up, shoulders over hips, arms extending out, left knee bent. Right arm is going to sweep up and over. Frame the left foot, lift off of the right heel, lower the right knee, and bring the hands to the inside of the left foot. Stepping that left foot back so that you come back into tabletop. Adjust your blocks. You can kind of sway your hips out there from side to side. As your hips rock back to the center, we're going to allow the right knee to root down while we send the left ball of the foot back, pressing the ball of the foot into the floor. So we draw the chin in a bit so that the gaze is down to the earth. Stay here or float the left leg up, bringing it parallel to the floor. Now we do want to think about really strongly engaging through the abdominal region. Staying here, taking that right arm and maybe taking it back behind you is just an option. We can always work with just the leg or even that left ball of the foot down on the floor. All right, one last inhale. As you exhale, lower your hand and lower your knee. Beginning to sway the hips again. All right, so to transition, we can take the hands on the blocks, walk the blocks to the left, lean to the left, step the right foot forward, frame the right foot, lift the left knee away from the floor. You're going to end up moving those blocks forward, bending in that back knee, pushing off and stepping forward, coming into forward fold. Inhale, take halfway lift with your spine, and then exhale, folding into the legs. Inhale, bending your knees, reversing your swan dive so that the arms go wide. Prayer hands come together and bringing the prayer hands down into your heart. So we're going to set up for a version of the tree position. So I'm going to invite you to catch hold of your block, placing your block to the inside of the right foot. We're all going to start by first placing the left ball of the foot onto the block. I like to place mine in a way where then the left heel meets the right calf shin bone region. So feeling the steadiness of the ball of the foot as it presses down into the block. Now you can remain there, connected to the block with the left ball of the foot. And if you take the foot up a little higher on the leg in your practice, that's fine too. You can place it to the ankle calf or reach up and place it above the knee to the inner thigh. And then you want to just engage the inner leg and the foot together. Bring your prayer hands together at your heart and take a moment to find your gazing point. You can stay right here. I'm also going to offer this pose today with the eagle arms as a possibility. So you could take your arms straight out in front of your chest, taking your left arm on top of your right, winding your arms around your heart so you give yourself a hug. That's one option. Another option is to wind the forearms, maybe winding the hands. Take a last inhale. And a last exhale. Inhale, beginning to slowly unwind. Releasing that left foot down. So the block is there so you can move back a little bit. Just take your heels in and your toes out and just kind of give some gentle empty coat sleeves motion. We're going to take that balance pose on the second side. So you can start to stand with the left foot now placed to the outside edge of the block. The ball of the right foot can come to the block while the heel gently rests against the calf shin bone region. Engaging the lowest ribs in and the belly in, and you can stay here. Or you can begin to maybe float that right foot up so it comes to the calf, or you can reach down, pick it up, and place it above the knee. So just stopping at any point along the way in the version of the pose that feels most appropriate for you. And then just press the palms together, find your gazing point. You can always stay right here. An exception is to send the arms forward, to cross the right arm on top of the left. So maybe wind the arms around the heart or to wind the forearms around one another. Take your last breath in and out. Inhaling to slowly unwind the arms, to slowly release the right foot. to bring the feet back into that empty coat sleeves position. So feet wide, heels in, toes turned out, and then just let it release. So this idea of connecting to clarity brings us into that state where we feel greater connection to intuition, inner knowing. Right? So just kind of feeling this freedom in your body as your arms just wind around the torso. And then beginning to slow that down as you let your feet maybe come a little closer. Your arms can go down by your side. You're just feeling the subtle vibration in your body as a result of that movement. All right, let's remove the block so that we can just slide it forward. We're going to start to transition down here. So you're going to breathe in and let your arms circle sweep out. Reach your fingertips up toward the sky. Feel your hands connecting, coming through the heart as you bend your knees and bring your body forward over your legs. Breathing in, taking halfway lift with your spine. So you're going to lift through the belly, reach out through the crown of the head, and exhale, step back into table position, lowering the knees down to the floor. And then let the weight go into the right knee. Pick up the bent left knee and hook it behind the right knee momentarily. Just kind of go a little wide with your feet. And then just start to rock your pelvis back toward the floor. Let the gazing point go down toward the floor. So this may feel like a strong stretch for the outer hip and the low back. So I want to also invite the possibility of moving, kind of pulsing the body up and down, or the possibility of holding, connecting in to the feeling tone of the breath. Okay, inhale, rock up, bring the feet closer, pick up the left knee, let the left knee come down. Picking up your bent right knee, hooking it behind the left, moving the feet a little bit apart, and then beginning to move the hips back toward the floor. Now, again, you can rock, kind of pulse the hips up and down. Or you can hold, gazes downward toward the floor. And then as you take your next breath in, we'll start to rock the hips back up, move the feet a little closer, unhook the right knee, swaying out through the hips a bit. And we're going to come around to a seated position. So you're going to swing your legs around in front of you. Could adjust the blanket so that you could just kind of sit right there on the edge. And we're going to take like a seated figure four position. So you're going to bend your left knee. You're going to lean your weight back into your hand. You're going to pick up your right knee and cross your right ankle over your left thigh. So this right knee is going to move away from the torso as you lift up through your chest. Gaze is forward or slightly tipping upward, whatever feels best on the neck. Now, you can stay right here. This may provide enough stretch for that hip, for the right hip. This is a lot of mobility in the hip region. You could walk your left heel in just a little bit more, possibly bringing the chest a little closer toward the right thigh. You do want to stay active in your right ankle, so press through your right heel. You have some options here on how deep you go into that shape. Deep breath in. Last breath out here. Okay. Starting to tip the body up just a bit so that you can extend that left leg out forward. We do the cradle position before we switch sides. So just picking up the right foot with the hands. Left hand to the inside of the foot, right hand to the outside, and just kind of rock a little bit. Rocking that right leg. You can always hold on to the inner heel with the left hand, maybe shift out onto your right hand and just kind of roll around on the outer hip a bit. Okay, and then let's switch sides. You're going to release your right foot down with the knee pointing up, lean into your hands. You're going to cross that left ankle over your right thigh. Okay. So you might be holding here. So there's a lot of awareness of the left heel. Press through the heel, draw the left toes back toward the shin bones, and lift up through your chest. So this is definitely my more restricted side, right? So you might notice that in your own body, one side may feel a lot more open. So if it works for you, you might be able to work your right heel in a little closer to your right sitting bone. This is sort of my level for this morning, right? You can lift up your chest, but you could go a little deeper if it felt right for your body. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay, last round of breath. All right, and then we're gonna start to slowly send the right leg out. All right, we're gonna be picking up the left foot, hooking the right hand around the inner foot, left hand to the outside, and just cradle the leg and just do a little rocking, just a little massaging for that left hip region. You can always hold right hand to left foot, lean out onto your left hand and just kind of rock a little bit on the outer hip. Okay. All right, and then coming back to the center. So I'm just going to invite you to sit up on the edge of the blanket, coming to that cross leg position. So at your home, time permitting, you could come down onto your spine for Shavasana, or if you're ready to transition, I'd like to invite you to place your prayer hands together and then take your thumbs and just lightly touch them to the center of the forehead. Concept today is tied into clear seeing and sight in general, okay, which is this third eye space that ties us into wisdom and intuition, connected also to the health of the physical eyes. It's so we're just taking a moment here to connect to this space. Sliding the hands down into the heart. The light within me bows to that same light that exists within you. Namaste.